Hey everyone, me again. This video isn't exactly a tutorial like the last one, even though you can see me sculpting in the background and doing other things. But this video, I just wanted to talk, so it's kind of like a filler video. I'm just going to discuss any topic I feel like today, so I'm just going to ramble on about Blender, why you should get into Blender, how to improve, and why it's so much fun. This is kind of the advice I would have loved to hear back when I was like 14, 15, so I was thinking this might be useful to any of the listeners out there. So, what is Blender? If you don't know, Blender is a free open source software which primarily focuses on 3D modeling, animating, and producing computer generated images. However, it does a lot. You can video edit, you can sculpt, do VFX, simulate physics, and probably a whole lot more that I don't even know about. But for me personally, I mainly use it for 3D art, and I'm trying to find my niche in this category. But I'm having a lot of fun experimenting, and that's what's so good about the software. You have so many options, and you don't even need to pay for it, so it's completely free. So I don't know, why don't you just download it now? So getting into Blender. So I got into Blender around age 13, and I've been using it on and off since for the past few years. I would say one of the good things that came out of like quarantine and lockdown, coronavirus like 2020, was definitely that I could focus on Blender without being worried about school. So that was great. But you don't need too much time to get into Blender actually. Like there are already plenty of free tutorials and courses out there on YouTube, Udemy, Skillshare, everything. And I just wish someone told me to stay consistent when I was younger. So, because if I had been consistent, like even 1 hour a week, which isn't much at all, I would have been in a much better place. So if you're thinking about starting Blender, then just start now. Like don't wait, don't dawdle, just download it now. It costs nothing. So if you don't like it, then you don't lose out on anything. So okay, how do you once you've got Blender and you've opened it up, how do you actually get good? You open Blender, you do a donut tutorial for 20 minutes, and now what? Well, just ask yourself what interests you. And if you don't know, then type up easy Blender tutorials on YouTube. Keep scrolling until you find something that interests you, and keep following these tutorials until you're comfortable. Then what you're gonna want to do is start doing your own thing. Cause, well, at the start, your content will most likely suck, and there's not much you can do about it. Your content will suck, but it will get better. That's with anything in life. So like me, if your sculpting is just really terrible, you're just gonna have to keep doing more and more. Like don't try and be perfect at what you do. Just keep trying to improve. That's what you should focus on. But at the moment where you enjoy the process of doing your thing and your work is actually decent, that's just a bliss experience that I think more people should be having. So, moral of the story, just keep practicing, you will get better, but enjoy the process because once you enjoy the process, you know that you've kind of made it. You've kind of accomplished something at least. And I think that at the very least is worth giving a go. Is Blender even useful? My answer to that question is absolutely. Even if there is zero monetary gain, I would say Blender is definitely worth learning 100%. In industry, 3D artists are used more and more for advertising, making mock-ups, infographics, product designs, and like way more. So even though they might not be using Blender, the skills are still transferable. So even if your company requires you to use something like Maya or 3ds Max, you can pick it up way easier than someone learning it from scratch. But industry stuff aside, I'll say it's still a lot of fun. Me personally, it brings me enjoyment whenever I make something that's like genuinely decent, and I'll say the experience as a whole is definitely fulfilling. Like seeing my own improvement and reaching new heights is far more rewarding than like watching anime all day or, something like that. While I do use Blender quite a lot, it doesn't take up too much time of my life. Like if something's important to you, then you'll make time for it. So I feel like it easily fits into my routine and my schedules and all the other stuff I have to do with my life. So finally, resources and help. I wanted to keep this video short, so I'll tell you some of the things I used to help me get to where I am. While I'm no professional, I wouldn't be here without some of these tutorials. So the main creators I follow are Ducky3D, CG Geek, and of course Blender Guru. They all have exceptional videos, especially for beginner creators, and I'll link their channels in the video description. Some of the videos I watched early on were like how to create a lightsaber, creating a CG planet, and definitely a lot of Ducky's short like abstract videos, because I think when the video's short and you create something, like you kind of get that instant gratification. So yeah, any of those videos are always like something that improved me as an artist. While these are all great resources, it's definitely up to you how much you want to improve. Like experimenting and getting criticism is so important for improving. I recommend like joining a Discord server, as they provide inspiration, criticism, and helpful advice to making your work even better. So hopefully you guys can take something away from this video. I'll link the download to Blender in the video description. And also, if you haven't already, check out my Blender Watch tutorial. It's a two-part tutorial. I think it's a really good tutorial, especially since it's my first one. I think that, there's a lot of skills and techniques that a lot of people don't know about. So hopefully some of you will be able to take something away from that video. So that's all I have for now. Another tutorial is coming out soon, so stay subscribed, and thanks.